Okay, next up is an interesting film. It's called For Colored Girls, and this is directed, of course, and all put together by who else? Tyler Perry. Now, he has assembled a formidable ensemble here, with likes of Loretta Devine, Kimberly Elise, Thandie Newton, Tessa Thompson, Kerry Washington, Whoopi Goldberg, Janet Jackson, and yes, The Cosby Show's Felicia Rashad. And in the most interesting cameo, remember one-hit wonder Macy Gray. Yes, the Macy Gray. Apparently it's not enough that Tyler Perry can claim the title that he's probably the most successful African American filmmaker, at least financially, I say, in movie history. After about 9 movies surrounded with the underlying of the Medea character that Perry himself plays, he really wants now respect from the critics, which is something he's always failed to get, and he's never really accomplished that. And here he's trying. I'll give him credit here. He's really trying. Now, For Colored Girls was adapted from an award-winning play some years ago. It's called For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough. And it's by a playwright whose name I cannot necessarily pronounce, but I looked this stuff up after seeing this movie. And I gotta say, I don't know, after what I read about the play, when I read about this movie, I think I may have gotten lost in the translation, but either way, that's not my overall problem with the movie. Now, I gotta say too that, in a way, Perry has, a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Tyler Perry is ambitious. I'll give him that. He's aggressive in his filmmaking. He goes for a goal and he sets out. He doesn't lose track of that goal. But that said, however, I just found most of his movies, to be quite honest with you, just boring, uninteresting, and not entertaining. Now again, this is nothing against his success. Hey, I'm glad he's found success doing what he does. I wouldn't wish, unsuccess on anybody. It's not that his movies are terrible. They're just merely not good, in my opinion. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe it's because I am a white guy, I don't understand that sort of thing. But I've seen many movies blending the African American community. One that just instantly comes to mind right now called Soul Food, which came out I think some 13 years ago, was an excellent visualization of that whole the bonding of the African American family and community and whatnot. Now I gotta say too that this film now it's what it is it's a series of the play was a series of 20 poems by a nameless cast of women only identified by color, lady in yellow, lady in purple, lady in red, that sort of thing. But obviously it's supposed to be like that sort of thing where names and identity, just identities within the character and not the names. Now I gotta say too that Janet Jackson is actually quite good here. Cast as a kind of a snappy Devil Wears Prada type fashion editor and worker. Whoopi Goldberg is really good as a mother of Thandie Newton's character, who's the sexually free spirit who lives next door to Felicia Rashad's character, who is the building manager. The main focus of Perry's stories, not surprisingly, is the devil called love, and or their lack thereof, and the lousy hand at life that a lot of these women have been dealt, and a series of no good men. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I think I'm getting sick of this message being driven home in a movie that that isn't supposed to be really about what Perry's underlining aspects of his other movies are supposed to be about. It is. It becomes that somehow, and quite frankly, that's what kind of did me in for this film. Now, he's never been shy about throwing, a bit of everything into his films, and, I'm cool with that, but at the same time, I just think he overdoes it as well. I think he just gives more than what is necessary to his movies, and that's what kind of hurt this one. Now, I could go into more about what this movie is, but I basically described it to you. It's from a play that had kind of a deep kind of meaning message, and Perry just kind of turns and keeps that message there somewhat, but kind of just gets lost in his usual foray of storytelling, if you want to call it that. I do believe Tyler Perry does have some great films in him, and he's still pretty young, so I would assume that hopefully some more in the future will come. But obviously, this film is just missing a lot of things. It just really doesn't have that deep, I guess you could say unadulterated message that I guess was really trying to send, but at the same time, I just didn't enjoy it. So I have to give For Colored Girls 2 stars out of 5. Sorry, Tyler.